Yeah, peace. I love peace. I'd be out of a job with peace.
Do we know each other?
Time. Reality. It's changeable.
Where you want to be? That's the question, isn't it?
Every universe is different. Each one unique.
Slow down a little bit. There's a few people in the room that don't understand. Not me, I get it.
Who are you?
The name's Captain Carter.
Scheiße!
I am the Watcher. I observe all that transpires here. But I do not, cannot, will not interfere. I guess I have to freestyle then.
We have you outnumbered.
A Ravager never flies solo. I said never flies solo.
Is that some kind of catchphrase?
You had me worried for a second.
Journey to face the unknown and ponder the question.
What? What? What if? I don't know. That's the question, isn't it? What? Hello and welcome to the periodic table of awesome. I am Quinny. You man with a beard. Who are you?
I could be an alternate timeline version of Dion, who is prepared and organized and knows exactly what's going on. What
Dion
if
had done the reading?
What if I'd actually seen the show that we're talking about? But no, I've read the Wikipedia. Oh wait, that's the regular Dion.
No, that's normal Dion. That's totally normal Dion.
No.
Which alternate version of Jill are you tonight, Jill?
What if I quit my job and just did art and stuff that
What?
makes me happy?
I think that's not even a thing that we should have to ask. What if? I think that's a thing that makes you happy. Then you should do it.
Yeah.
What if money means that it's the only way you can eat and live in a home?
What?
And you shouldn't. So what if?
God damn it.
Yeah, we'll see what happens in my series.
Okay.
Does she live on the
in
streets?
Oh, no. What if Jill was homeless and lived on the streets? This is the darkest fucking timeline. Which variant version of which universe are you from, Peter?
I kind of wish I was from Jill's universe at the moment. That
We could be
sounded great.
homeless together and do art.
I'm gonna set my sights a little bit, like I'm gonna aim slightly lower though, and just say like I'm the version of Peter that has basic motivation and is allowed to leave the house.
Okay. Oh fuck, that's the biggest mood of the day.
I mean, it's
What
already.
if we didn't have depression?
Yes, and thank you to the chat for getting everything up there, doing all the jokes that we were going to do, but you've already done them. It's like, what if we weren't in lockdown? What if we didn't have clinical depression? No.
This shit's hilarious.
It writes itself.
Yeah. Like you want multiple universes, you want multiple timelines. We got them all, and we're sad in every single one.
Whoa! It's very dark. This is the darkest timeline. I don't enjoy this at all. But yes,
yeah. Casper, I think, has hit on one of the best what ifs. What if Gladys didn't on New South Wales?
No,
I feel like my timeline isn't a sad timeline. In my timeline, we're allowed to leave our houses, guys. Yeah, I think you're overlooking.
Oh, sorry, yours.
Right.
Sorry. Yours was the positive timeline, positive version.
We're
of Peta.
in the one that you were just talking about.
Right.
Sorry.
We're in the darkest timeline. I was looking up.
Okay, right. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Peter. I feel like I'm just dragging everybody down into the darkest version with me. Come, wallow in the sadness. Be like Artax.
It's what I'm wallowing in the sadness.
I can't help it.
I'm wallowing. What are we talking about then?
You know what? We're talking about all sorts of things, but I need to cough very badly. So I'm going to leave somebody else to tell us what we're doing about.
Oh.
Are talking about What If, the Marvel TV series on Disney Plus.
Yes, it's a Marvel Studios production, as they felt the need to super it this time round. Whiff.
Yes.
Marvel's Whiff.
Whiff.
Whiff. Marvel got sick of the fan fiction being written about all of the movies and just decided to lean into it.
I'll do one better. Why if?
Who if? When if?
I mean, they really did miss a bit of a trick on their marketing. I'm just going, when if?
Yeah.
And now we look around on our Disney Plus every week going, where if?
Having
what about
Marvel, Disney Plus or Disney Marvel, whatever the mouse. We just call it the mouse.
Of the mouse.
Yes, Hypercompute Global Meganet Corporation has teased us with multiple television shows, and now to fill the gap between whatever's coming next is a bit of a would you call it, like a palate cleanser for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like they've had their first phases done, and now they've established a universe, like a cinematic universe, and they're about to start onto the next phase, whatever that is. But What If has come along?
We're in it.
Yeah, but now Marvel's come along and given us a bit of a, hey, remember all these characters you loved from the first bits? We're gonna shake that whole thing up again, just to keep you interested and make sure that every story seems fresh.
So is there a bit of a comic backstory that I'm not aware of here, guys? Like this is a comic series, right? We're not just tumbling into the cinematic universe willy-nilly.
Yeah, not so much a series, but kind of like an amalgamation of one-shot stories that would come out every so often.
Yeah.
Titled What If, and then would spin a story on its head. And I think the one I remember the most is What If Aunt May was one of Galactus's heralds, and she was called the Golden Oldie.
And it's interesting, like that's amazing.
Golden Oldie.
Her name is Golden Oldie.
Yeah.
My God. So yeah, there is a whole bunch of these, and they almost started out as a parody thing. They were kind of like, we want to tell a different story. Can we just do it in a funny or weird way? Sorry, my voice is really giving me grief. But things like What If Spider-Man joined the Fantastic Four, which was the number one. And then, throughout the course, that was started in 1977. So the comics had been around for 14 years or something by that point. So, they're in a similar sort of period to where we're at cinematically. They've gone, okay, we've built this universe. We've got all of these characters. So wouldn't it be fun if we could try and do something funny or weird or different? And both companies did it, except Marvel called theirs What If and DC called theirs Elseworlds. And it was kind of like, let's just mess with the status quo. Let's do something different.
Yeah.
But
it's
not unlike being
fun.
kids in the sandbox with your different action figures. It's like, oh, what if these guys fought together? And
it's good to know. It's good to know, Peter, that the television show so far has not followed the comic series. So we're not going to see
Hasn't
Spider-Man
copied
in the
stuff yet.
Fantastic Four because the Fantastic Four hasn't joined the cinematic universe yet. This What Ifs are all new stories based on the Marvel Cinematic Universe and not the comics.
Right.
So
So the
Let me
concept
give you-
is from a comic series, but the stories we're seeing are not.
And the very short synopsis.
Oh, wait, I've got some music for you, Jill. Hang on.
Thank you. Like I said, Dion, it's very short.
Go on. You know.
Okay.
What's the music? I think it's Bloodsport.
Yeah.
Following the creation of the multiverse in Loki's first season finale, What If explores the various alternate timelines of the multiverse in which major moments from the Marvel Cinematic Universe films occur differently. That is literally the synopsis.
Right. Okay.
It's the longest one I could find.
Woo!
You know what?
It's a pretty
That's fine.
simple. It's a pretty simple premise.
Thanks, Dingo Gary, for subscribing. You're awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
And that's why we're just going to
yeah.
leave the Bloodsport music in the background.
Oh, right. Not because that's just the only music you had on hand.
Shh, don't tell the secrets.
Like I think it's interesting because there have been like multiple runs of the What If comics. Like, you know, from 1977 to 1984, there was, 20 something odd issues. Then in 2005, there was another run. And it's an idea that is obviously fun because you can just keep coming back to it. You know, you've got characters, you've got established stories. Let's just fuck with them. I'm totally down with that. And I was very excited when they were announcing this because it's interesting that this is the first time we've done an in canon. My fucking internet. No. Oh, sorry.
An in
Sorry, I was looking at you and you
internet.
all were just deadly still.
We're all like,
and I just assumed my internet had died.
Quinny,
It
you were
just turns out
being
you're
that
actually
compelling.
paying attention.
Yeah. We're listening. We're listening.
it's called active listening, Quinny.
Oh, right. Is that what that was? It wasn't just you go,
We all did a course for you.
Thank you. It was amazing. I love that. Completely derailed my train of thought. Good work. Your active listening has actually derailed me.
You were saying something about the first in universe.
Oh, animated stuff.
Ah, okay.
So up until this point, we've not actually had anything that's canonically animated. So there's a heap of Marvel animated series. There's a heap of Marvel animated movies, but nothing that is actually supposedly canonically Marvel Cinematic Universe. So this is kind of exciting, and I like that they've gone big.
Yeah.
In a big way.
It's also
So
I'd like to caveat this whole start review because we're not doing the whole thing on one episode, but we're only doing it on 2 episodes because that's all that's been released so far. So I want to just, before I shoot myself in the foot by going, it was great, I also want to go, don't know yet, still got a few episodes to finish out with.
Yeah, but each episode
we
is
don't
its
want to
own
oval it
thing.
up.
You don't want to, I don't want to orville the problem.
Yes.
Each
that
episode
would be
is its
really
own
awful.
thing, though. I don't think we can say like, oh, the series as a whole was shit or was great because each one is a different story. It's not an ongoing, complete thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, look, honestly, just from the first 2 episodes that we've seen, I kind of get the feeling that if this was going to be a complete garbage fire, we'd probably know by now.
Yeah.
You can usually tell pretty much straight away, oh, okay, yeah, it's a bit shit, or, they're not trying hard, or the scripts are a bit blah. And so far, I think we're in pretty safe territory, which is very nice.
Yeah.
It is a super fun idea, and I think the 2 episodes that we've seen so far have been fun. I'm just seeing Rob in the chat saying that the stories in the comics tended to be a bit bloody and gory and sometimes depressing. And as we all know, I'm not in the mood for that right now. So I'm glad that's not what we've been served.
Well, we haven't got
these
to
2 episodes that we've seen.
Zombie Captain America yet, so there's still time.
Oh, yeah.
And also, funnily enough, this isn't actually the first time that we've done What If in this particular part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. If you still consider Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to be part of the MCU, because there was a run in season 4, I think it is. So they split season 4 up into 3 different plot lines. The first being Ghost Rider, the second one being What If, and then the third one being the Life Model Decoy storyline. And so there was a run of 6 or 7 episodes that were literally called What If. So it does have precedent. And in that one, it was like what if everybody from S.H.I.E.L.D. was actually Hydra and everybody was evil.
That's right.
Yeah, what if they just
like,
recycled storylines from the What If comics and made it canon? Wait.
Sorry.
Okay. How connected?
My internet is doing active listening again. For fuck's sake.
How connected are these stories to the idea that we have just opened up the multiverse? Like, are we supposed to feel like these are universes, the multiverses that exist now that the multiverse is opened up? Or are these just kind of like, hey, let's just have fun with a couple of stories as a palate cleanser before we get to whichever the next one is?
I mean, I guess you could take
Eternals?
Eternals, yes, that's right.
Because you could take it any way you wanted to. Like, I like to think that, oh, okay, well, now that we've got this multiverse thing going on, these are all possibilities. I mean, the multiverse is endless. Anything could happen. But if you don't want to go into that and you just want to have fun with it and watch some kooky, different kind of stories, then that's cool too.
I mean, I'm just absolutely 100% looking forward to watching Marvel write themselves into so many corners, just like the comic book series. And eventually they just have to do an entire universe reset and be like, we're coming out with Iron Man again. It's the first Iron Man film starring...
They already wrote themselves into a corner with Endgame and like that not affecting the timeline. Like...
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, hello. They're already doing it.
They've already done
I think this is actually in many ways a bit of a response to that, because they've gotten to the end of Endgame and gone, oh shit, we've actually created a massive paradox for ourselves. We've messed with time. Fuck. Okay, we either need to fix this or dive in deeper to it. Yeah, or just ignore it and just go, and so should you. But I think this whole multiverse thing is kind of maybe a bit of a course correction type thing of going, okay, you know, we've messed with time, so now we're going to break it entirely and expand things out further, maybe. I don't know.
I feel like it's impossible to write yourself into a corner with this multiverse construction, because no matter what you do, it's like, it's a multiverse. This is the new wibbly wobbly timey wimey. Yeah, it's multiverse stuff.
Yes, it's multiverse, multiverse. You know, or explain it away by going.
Wait, no.
Yeah. Actually, that's great. We can Photoshop it. There's the next meme is just Scarlet Witch holding up the multipass, going multiverse, multiverse. But why multiverse?
Well, that's the next series. That's season 2 is called But Why? Starring Peta.
Why? You know what? I didn't really have any but why moments in the 2 episodes that we saw, so that was nice.
Just kind of went with
that was nice. They seem to be reasonably well constructed stories. Thank goodness, given the money that goes into these. Do we have a favourite out of the 2 that we've seen so far?
Definitely Captain Carter.
Yeah, I gotta say,
is anybody here surprised?
They kept, but no, I'll agree with that. They came out of the blocks hard with that one, and I really enjoyed it. I was actually very excited because, you know, when it comes to this sort of stuff, I was like, oh yeah, it's Wednesday, another gap filler. But you know, the first episode was really great. I liked all of it. No notes.
Yeah. 100 out of 100. I think the Captain Carter one is was a great one to jump into, because you know, it was that thing of, okay, we're going to do a kind of beat for beat remake of Captain America, but we're going to make it different enough, and then we're also going to put her into modern context as well by the end of the episode. So, and apparently, like the Captain Carter character is going to be a through line that runs through a lot of the What If stories.
Sure.
Which I was surprised by, because one of the things that I kind of like about What If is the idea that everything is standalone. You know, you can have an episode where everybody dies, and you know that's fine because next week there's a new clean slate. But by the sounds of it, they're like, no, cool, okay. We're going to run some kind of story, which then makes me wonder: are we going to then try and take elements from What If and put them back into the main multiverse or the main story? Like, could we see a Captain Carter live action?
Oh God, I would love that.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Rob's asking how much of the cosplay have I organized, and I have to say nothing yet. But the
some
temptation
cosplayers
is
out there
high.
though have just like, I hand it to the cosplay community. It's kind of like, here is a grainy reference image from the teaser of a thing, and it's like, oh, here's my finished costume. I'm like, how? It's been 2 days since the trailer came out. How have you finished this already? What is going on?
As much as I'd love to do Peggy, I have a friend in Adelaide that would be perfect as Peggy, so I'd be happy to be her Tiny Steve.
Wait, is that her name or what she does?
Oh my God, I want to see that cosplay duo right now.
Because I do lots of Captain America, so I'd be happy to do Tiny Steve.
Yes.
And maybe I could build a Hydra Stomper.
Oh yes! Oh yes!
Who wants to help?
As I want to say,
I am there. I will do whatever the fuck you want. I will help you build your Hydra Stomper.
Yes.
That's what I got to say. This Captain Carter is definitely a Peggy of Small Steve.
Oh, the memes.
Oh,
I think I've already seen that.
Why do they call you Peggy?
Yeah.
Come on, don't take away from it. It's great.
I was very pleasantly surprised by the voice work in that first episode. Like that, I think more than anything, that's the thing that gives this the kind of stamp of authenticity, is going, okay, we've got the voice actors right.
Yeah.
And even when they didn't, I was still kind of like, shit, that's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I mean, the guy that's voicing Steve Rogers is not Chris Evans, but sounds a hell of a lot like him. Like, pretty good
Josh
imitation.
Keaton.
Yeah.
I was actually
he's-
slightly disappointed that it wasn't Chris Evans, just for one. Like, come on, Chris. It's only one episode. The fan base will die.
Yeah, but they also didn't get RDJ back, so I'd say it's a money thing. But
Sure. Yeah. Plus
But also then you get to episode 2 and you've got Chadwick Boseman doing his one of his last performances. And
when
you're
they
like,
had that dedication at the end of the episode, I cried.
And then just played sad music for the credits.
Oh, I know. I'm like, oh, Chadwick.
And then just really made you sit with it. Oh,
yeah.
that hurt a bit.
But apparently he's recorded all the rest of his voice work for this season too. So we will not hear the last of Chadwick in What If.
Yeah.
I noticed Karina said that she was disappointed that Benicio del Toro wasn't the collector. He was.
He was. Yep.
Yeah, it was his voice. He sounded different than he did in the film.
Very weirdly jacked collector. He's in this one.
Yeah.
I'm like, pretty sure Benicio doesn't look like that, but good for him.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want when you're animated.
That's one of the great things. You can do whatever the fuck you want when you're animated.
Yeah.
Sure. At least I got Howard the Duck back in.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Somebody needs to explain Howard the Duck to me now. Because what?
We can't explain it. Just remember multiverse. Just repeat that mantra to yourself.
Go back and watch the George Lucas Howard the Duck movie, Peter.
Yep.
You'll love it.
What would you? Yeah, go back. I didn't even know that existed.
Do you hate her? Jill? What the
Did
fuck
you
is wrong
hear
with you?
the sarcasm?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But it was funny to see Seth Rogen pop up in the front credits because I was like, what?
Seth Green.
Seth Green. because I was like, what?
Yeah.
What is going
What?
on? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I also like that the chat is just melting down about Howard the Duck, which if there's ever something to galvanize people against it, it's Howard the Duck.
It's like I have such a weird relationship with Howard the Duck because I saw that movie when I was, I don't know, quite young. And it's a fucking terrible movie, but B, like kind of horrific.
Oh yeah, it's
and
terrible.
Like quite disturbing on many levels. So the girlfriend from Back to the Future ends up sleeping with the duck. And at one point,
And ducks have
Howard
a
the Duck
coiled
is
penis. I don't know if you guys know
and
that.
he's
how does
reading
that work?
Playbill, which is literally Playboy but with bills.
Playbill is what you get when you go to the theater.
Yeah, not the
Yes,
same
I
one at
know.
Hamilton. A different one.
That's
to
the
Hamilton.
joke.
Yeah, it is.
I'm-
It is not a
so
good
I'm glad
idea.
I've not seen this movie, and I'm just going to let it be a thing that happened one time in that episode.
He's like a hard-boiled detective. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, for no reason. You know, he was a spoof
it
in
is-
the 80s, and it wasn't any good. And then they had a film made out of it for some stupid reason, and now
Became
he's
like
back.
a weird cultural phenomenon kind of thing.
Yeah, but not a cult classic.
No. Much like Superman 3, people don't speak of it. They
Oh,
know
you
it's
just did.
there.
You mean the Brandon Routh one?
No, Superman.
Superman
No. Superman
Oh.
3, the third.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Are you talking the one with Richard Pryor? Or are you talking Superman
Yes.
4, which
No,
is
no.
even worse?
No, Richard Pryor. Like, this is the thing. Howard the Duck was one of those things. It's like, oh, that's based on something interesting and could be fun. And then you watch like Superman 3 and you're like, this is terrible and somewhat frightening and very bad. And then Superman 4, you're like, they've given up. Superman 4 is so
Yes, they
terrible.
really had.
They've given up. Like, whereas Howard the Duck had an established idea and they were trying to do something, but it's just bad. Anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean, did you remember seeing Howard the Duck in the end of Guardians of the Galaxy?
No.
I think.
Okay.
I mean,
Here's
don't
an
even get me
credit.
started on Cosmo the Cosmonaut Dog.
Oh, love Cosmo.
Yes. See, like,
all of these, like very much like the other two series so far, so many of these references just go over my head. And I don't even mind that much because the references that I get just from watching the cinematic universe are so much fun anyway. And to be honest, I think I had more fun with episode 2 than I did with episode 1, even though I loved Captain Carter. I really liked, they seem to have had a bit more fun playing with the characters in episode 2. And I think it gives the performers a chance to play with these characters as well. I particularly liked reformed Thanos continuing to try to convince everybody.
I will never not be uncomfortable with seeing Thanos in a relaxed
that was one of the
environment.
things they just keep referring to him as, yeah, but you wanted to do genocide, okay? And it's
Yeah.
like, I know.
No, it's not genocide, it's random.
Yeah.
I love that somebody pointed out that it's like if the shit that I didn't expect to see on my screen this year, Thanos patting Cosmo the dog whilst explaining to the Dora Milaje that it's not really genocide. is not things that I was expecting, and I'm like,
Not on the bingo card.
no.
But now that we're here
And
for it,
so
we're like,
good.
sure, why not? And I mean, that's probably a credit to the writing and also the charisma of Chadwick Boseman is that you went with him and he's like, yeah, I'm Star-Lord and I'm amazing at it. I would like the universe would be so much better if T'Challa became Star-Lord instead of Black Panther. And it's like,
What a
Amy
different
makes a
world.
good point. We maybe should put some spoilers up because we are talking right about
don't
everything
make-
that has been.
do I have to get the thing out? Sorry.
But yeah,
just got excited
I
about
also
it. There
love
we
that
go.
it finally gave Digimon Hunsu
Oh my
I don't know,
God.
a chance.
His fanboy
Something to
character was so good.
Something to do.
I think it also I think it also just draws into really sharp relief how much of a dick Peter Quill is.
Oh my God.
The worst, Chris.
I'm like,
Exactly.
working at a Dairy Queen, yeah, I would probably check that box as something I could predict for Peter.
But if he's going to
Yeah.
come back, he probably will get down with like Ego, the living planet and just be like, yeah, let's do some weird shit, and then he'll
Oh,
become the
for
next
sure.
supervillain.
Yeah.
I've got to say, I'm still dirty at Peter for making the entire snap happen by losing his temper. Because
What,
that is
Peter
the
Parker?
entire fight off on that planet where they were like about to win, but Peter Quiller's like, nah, I'm going to punch him. Like, what?
Yeah.
No, you made the snap happen. Oh my God.
I think
Anyway.
episode 2 is a really good look at nature versus nurture. I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh, goodness.
yeah, the idea that if you put the right person in the right situation, they will raise everybody else up. And I kind of like that. I like the idea that we've seen one version of events in both Captain Carter and in Star-Lord. And both of them, in some ways, are actually better timelines.
Mm.
Like,
In some
you
ways,
know,
yeah. Well, this is the
Yeah.
thing. You've like that's I think the effectiveness, and I want to see that continue on throughout the rest of the series. Is that they're definitely different, but they're just better slightly. So that makes you question whether or not this is the right timeline.
Oh, yeah.
And then, but like I like the idea of the official canon timeline being, well, it's not the best one.
Yeah.
As was kind of explained in the end of the Loki series, in case you hadn't it, when they were talking about like, do you want to have a reality where you own everything? Do you want to have these everything, all possibilities are endless. You can do whatever you want.
I mean, it can't be the best one because then it wouldn't sustain so much storytelling. Like we need plot.
bad things.
And
we need plot to happen.
And Stan Lee would still be alive.
Well, ouch.
Oh, fuck.
Ow. Ow. Jesus, man.
Oh, what, too soon?
Meat Shield asked the question, where is Gamora in that story?
But when
that
is
was a bit
Gamora?
disappointing.
Why is Gamora?
Why is Gamora?
I think perhaps because there is an episode later on that is very definitely based around her. Like we've seen like images of her in full Thanos style armor.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah,
like,
it's like I think it's the alternate Avengers.
Maybe she's the one who's trying to take on her father's work and make the snap.
Maybe T'Challa making the universe better meant that he didn't kidnap her and slaughter the people on her planet.
See, like all of these things are perfectly legitimate in What If.
Yeah, I like seeing Nebula with her flowing blonde hair.
Oh
And
my God, the whole Barbarella look for her was so good.
Can you stop having sexy?
Oh my God, yes, she's so cute.
Stop having
I'm
sexy
really into
hair
this
reveals in cartoon series. I'm looking at you, He-Man. It's all these things of like, I was not prepared, but I'm down for it.
Predacanga also makes the point, where were Rocket and Groot? Well, considering T'Challa was never, a thief in the same way, he just never ran into them. So they're out there doing their own thing, probably being thieves somewhere.
Still Groot. Maybe he found a nice
Yeah.
planet to put roots down.
No.
And he's become the world tree.
Oh.
There you go. And
Well,
and Rocket Raccoon lives in him now. It's weird.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this got dark.
And
another rule
that's very
34.
strange.
Go ahead, internet.
Yeah. Just don't awaken anything in us.
And I was really excited to see that, like, they even managed to get like Kurt Russell back to do one fucking line.
Yeah.
I was like, really amazing. That's so cool. And
It was a
I
very
also
Kurt
like
Russell-y animation as well.
Oh yeah, yes. And I like that there is this sort of idea that at the end of that one, that is kind of potentially a dark ending. Like, you've
Another
got
what
Ego, who is potentially gonna now take over half the universe, or and that's fun. I think this is the thing; it's fun. I love
Well,
the
if Thanos
ideas.
doesn't exist, who fills that role? Like the supervillain of the galaxy.
Because there's always got to be
I don't
balance.
think anyone really needs to fill that role.
No, but like, there's always got to be a power play.
Plot.
Yeah. Plot.
Yes, we need all of the plot.
Yeah. Did you all like seeing the Thanos villains come back into in episode 2? So Proxima Midnight and all of those ones that came back and now they work for the Collector.
Yeah.
That was
The,
kind of fun because they're still good
They're
villains.
called the something five, the Fab Five.
The Fab Five. Yeah.
Oh no, the
What are they called?
Thanos's fucking generals.
Yeah, they're called the Fab
Um,
Five. Something like that.
Yeah. Yes, that's totally.
Yes.
There was five of them, wasn't there?
Look, I mean,
yes.
Or was there four?
I enjoyed them because they got kind of shortchanged in the film.
The Blackguard. That's
for
it. Thank you, Casper.
Sorry?
The Blackguard, as Casper points out.
Thank you.
Blackguard. Sounds like Fab Five. I was close.
Yes.
Look,
definitely the same thing.
I mean, talking about people coming up, I mean, without spoilers, because it's all there. I mean, I can talk about the voice cast who have been slated to appear that we haven't seen yet. Because there's still a lot of people there that are quite good. Like Michael B. Jordan's coming back, Evangeline Lilly, Natalie Portman, Benedict Wong, Taika Waititi. Like just certain people coming back, which is kind of like, where have they been? Like Paul Bettany's doing the Vision again.
Nice.
I wonder whether it'll be White Vision or Red Vision or pre-Jarvis.
Michael Douglas is back.
Cool.
As Hank Pym. There's heaps of people in there, and it is great to know that that there are people like in there. Like it's kind of nice to find out who they're flashing out because some of them you want to see more of, and other ones you just kind of like, it doesn't matter whose voice it is, you can just do it. Just give me a good actor.
I was very glad they got the voice back for Taserface.
Taserface.
That made my day. I was like, yes.
I'm super excited.
And I'm also very excited for more Jeff Goldblum.
I'm excited for Clancy Brown.
Oh.
He's coming back as Surtur.
Cool.
As Surtur?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. There's one for you.
Now, one of the things I am very, very excited about this series is that at least 2 of the episodes are actually animated by an Australian company.
Oh.
Yes, they are.
Which one?
Or formerly known as Yoram Gross.
Oh my God! It did Blinky Bill.
Yes. Yeah. Good old Blinky Bill has done 2 episodes of this series.
Cool.
One of which we're going to be seeing fairly soon, which I believe may be the next one, is the zombies episode.
Oh no, the next one's Loki on Earth.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Don't give away spoilers.
We've got
I don't want to know.
Later. We've got the teaser for it. That we'll
Yes,
show you later.
I said that earlier, didn't I?
You did, but I wasn't paying that much attention to you. You know that.
No, I said that I had it. Let's just see what happens there.
Congratulations.
Oh no, I'm not doing that one.
Yeah, let's see how many of there we go.
Yeah, get the elves out.
Yeah. Bring out your elves.
Drop some elves in the
Show us
chat.
your elves.
Well, are we going to rate this, or is it too soon?
I mean, I could rate each individual one, and we can just do an aggregate
do we rate
score.
per episode? Like,
it's going to be worth a revisit, I think, at the end of the season, just to talk about whether or not it upheld it. But
that would be nice.
I'll give it a go.
I'm also intrigued to know whether or not by the end of the season we've got something that actually feeds into the broader multiverse story, because everything we've had recently, apart from Falcon and the Winter Soldier, has been kind of building to some kind of reality breakage.
Yeah.
And
if anyone saw the Spider-Man trailer today,
which we will be talking about soon. I have so many things to talk about.
Have to talk about it. Fine, we'll do that. My only concern before I do a rating, I just want to say I am a little bit concerned that they're going to create their own narrative universe by tying too many of them together, because I much prefer the idea of having completely separate what ifs that don't necessarily link to each other, just so that we're not creating another unified universe. Like, that's what you say.
I know
when
what you mean.
Captain Carter's having a through line makes me go, I don't really need that. Just make it once.
Yeah.
Yeah, one and done.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think the
and
ambiguity of like the open endings is kind of like, and now you can just like go and write your fan fiction for the rest of that universe, and like nothing else has to cross over and line up. That was kind of the beauty of like the comics in themselves, was it was a one shot. It was like, that's it, and then you draw your own conclusions.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I'm down for it.
Yeah.
Yep, cool. All right.
Yeah. No, sorry. I'm having horrific internet issues. So if ever I don't respond quickly, it's because you have all just stopped on my screen.
Sorry, what, Quinny?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, stop it, Dion.
It's active listening, Dion. We've
Yeah. Active listening. I can't.
so good.
What?
I mean, I like the idea of them all being completely separate, standalone stories that we don't have to think too much about as well.
Yeah.
There is enough universe building happening in the universe.
I mean, there's a part of me that likes the idea of, okay, there's the Captain Carter story, and then there's a sequel to it, you know, where it's Captain Carter in the modern day.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, where it leaves off.
Yeah,
but I
sure.
don't necessarily think I need to have a shared multiversal universe, because that's the whole point of multiverses, is that they aren't. So
I mean, they
Yeah,
could
so it doesn't
really.
necessarily need to lean into the, oh well, in that universe, T'Challa is Star-Lord, and yeah.
I'd really like them to double down on some of the older Marvel movies by getting those
I'm
characters.
going to bring them in.
Yeah, like Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider. Let's get him in. Let's.
I want to see them bring in David Hasselhoff's Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, all of that shit. Like, I mean, come on. Like Dolph Lundgren's The Punisher. Yes. Let's do
Okay,
that.
money for the Hoff. Like to have a white Nick Fury and the black Nick Fury. Just have like a Fury
again.
off. Like.
And it could be called Too Fast, Too Furious.
Oh, fuck. Already writing.
Yes.
We're writing season 2 of What If already.
Thank you very much.
The only time that joke's allowed to be used.
Yes.
I love it.
Got a chef's kiss out of it. Yes.
Congratulations.
And meanwhile, Karina's like, get out.
Oh, dear.
Would be amazing. So, okay, do you feel like you can rate it? Is that a thing we want to do?
I already did. I rated it in the chat as requested.
Wow.
You
Okay,
also
cool.
have to rate it with your voice, Dion,
Audio.
given
With my
that this is-
words.
Yes, it is important.
I gave the first, like, I had a lot of fun with Captain Carter. I gave it 90 out of 100. And then for the second one, I wasn't quite so great. It was like maybe an 85, 75, I think maybe I said. I can't remember. One of those two. Just a bit
You
lower.
said,
75.
90 and then 75.
Yeah, 90 and 75. It was kind of like, I really liked Captain Carter. I was not expecting it to be that good. Mainly because I have, hands down, best fight animation I've seen, like, for ages.
The plane fight scene was like, so good.
Yeah, I just was like, oh, that's fucking great. Like, that's better than the movies. I'm down for Captain Carter. She kicks ass. Yeah.
She does.
No, I'm
Right,
going to go.
Jill.
I just jumped in.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I'm just going to go.
Whatever.
I'm going to go for 85 across the board.
Nice.
You know, I like I said, I kind of had more fun with it too. I loved the idea of Captain Carter, but for some reason I didn't engage particularly well with that episode. I don't know why. Maybe I was just in a mood. So I was going to say 85 across the board.
I'm just excited that
Forward to seeing some more.
you're enjoying this. This is not really your shiz.
Yeah, but it's characters that I'm already invested in. So I'm, and an idea that's super fun. So it's not going to take a lot to get me into these stories. If this was like a completely disconnected, if you're going to start throwing new characters at me that I've never seen before, then you might not have grabbed me.
You've already done the homework, so it's easier.
I've done the homework. I've done a lot of MCU homework, even if I haven't done the comics homework.
That's okay. We don't hold that against you. There's a lot of comics out.
Next up, Howard the Duck.
Oh my God.
Let's never do that. I mean, the fact that they've even brought Howard the Duck into the MCU, I think, is a fucking miracle. So
before the
I
X-Men.
feel like it's just to massively confuse people like me.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
why is the duck?
But also,
Yes.
why wouldn't there be an anthropomorphic duck? There's already a talking raccoon in a tree, so.
Yeah. This is very true. Jill, give me some numbers.
You can do the math to work out the average, but I'm giving 96 to Captain Carter.
Woo.
Not 100 out of
Nice.
100, because my only thing was that I could tell the audio was recorded like
Separately.
before the animation was kind of completed. So like some of the delivery of the lines doesn't match the tone of what's happening in the scene. And I have to say, Sebastian, I love you, but you need to try harder on your voice acting. because
Oh.
It was a bit weird. Like the tone was not coming across like true to what was happening in the moment. It felt really weird.
I honestly believe they just called him in like on a Saturday, which was supposed to be his day off, and like, read these lines, and he's like, but I don't want to. It's my day off, and he's like, you work for Marvel.
We'll pay you all this money.
Pay it.
Yeah,
Do
that
it now.
happened. That is not what happened. He posted on his Instagram how it was all recorded. And for Star-Lord, I'm going to give it 89.
Nice.
Because like the Guardians is not really my jam. But I just kind of felt like it was a cool story. It was fun. It was like, oh, we're doing a space heist. And yeah, I thought it was fun. It was great. And there were so many Easter eggs in it that I was going, oh, look at that, look at that, look at that. So that one, that appealed to me, that one.
I mean, it's absolutely redolent with Easter eggs and background detail and like, oh, look, he's got that. Oh, he's got that. Oh, so cool. I mean, I think that's what that second episode was for. It was, here's some jokes and here's some great character stuff and here's a whole bunch of Easter eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I used the word redolent. Fuck you. If I'm gonna, episode 1 for me was a 90. I thought it was really, really shit hot. Episode 2, 88.
Yep, no, 88 miles per hour, and he just freezes. He's gone back in time. He's got to go back. Now he's back. You're back from the future, Quinny. Do you?
Said 88 because
it didn't drop much down for me. I thought that it was very much on par with that first one. But yeah, like I was fine with the first one until they got right to the end, and I'm like, fuck me, they're doing Cthulhu stuff. Yes. And to me, that was like, okay, we're not only are we doing a little Captain Carter, we're doing a little bit of, that kind of stuff, but also we're expanding out and going, yes, we can do some Hellboy style storytelling. We can kind of expand that story into a different direction because we've never seen giant tentacle monsters yet.
Yeah. And I mean, a
And
Hydra's
I
not an
dig that.
octopus, so where did they get that from?
I mean, well, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it was kind of an octopus.
It was. That is true.
See?
Yeah,
Look
but
at you
I'm
having
saying
done the reading.
a
I read the
Hydra
wiki.
Is not an octopus.
Yes.
Cephalopod heaven.
And also, I do want to shout out to the voice actor who does the voice of Red Skull. He's a guy called
from
Ross
Walking
Marquand.
Dead. Yeah.
Yes. And he's so fucking good.
You guys
like-
go and YouTube his videos where he does impersonations because he is spot on every time. It's crazy.
Yeah. But he does what he calls micro impressions. And it's like, what was it?
You're doing them right now.
Brad Pitt tries to remember his line. And he's just like, and that's it. That's the whole impression, but it is pitch fucking perfect. Kevin Spacey walks into the wrong audition, like, I'm sorry, oh god, and he leaves, and you're like, but it's so good, and yeah, his Hugo Weaving a la the Red Skull is terrifying. He did it for Endgame.
Endgame, yep.
Yes. So yes. And yes, as Karina said, Rooker bringing 110% energy to Yondu.
Yeah.
Love us some Rooker.
Do we have a clip?
Well, funny you should mention that, Peter, because tonight's clips are what I'm going to call experimental and experiential. So you're going to tell me which clip you're going to want to see, and I'm going to press play on the clips I have lined up, which is actually Bloodsport. And while that starts playing and everyone keeps talking, I'm going to be in the background switching it over to the file I should have loaded before we started. Because you're lucky I remembered.
You were given hours before the show?
Hours. Hour. No, it's just like I didn't do that. But I mean, it's just going to be an interesting aside. So basically, you're going to hear us talking. You're going to hear a little, see and hear a little bit of the Bloodsport clip that I played last Friday. And then it's just going to seamlessly transition into whichever clip you want. Do you want the Captain Carter one, or do you want the episode 3 clip? And that's, and if we do this again for another clip, it's going to happen again. It's not just a one-stop all.
Look, I feel like we can have a clip and then we can come back and maybe have a little bit of a chat about Spider-Man Far From Home, because I feel like we've kind of nailed the spoilers for What If already, to be honest.
How about we just watch the episode 3 teaser?
The episode 3 teaser then? Look, I mean, sure, if you want to see Captain Carter, just watch the episode again. It's not that long.
Yeah.
You're not losing anything.
Let's do the teaser.
The teaser
it's
of
only
episode
coming out
3.
tomorrow night.
I mean,
whatever.
just what
It's still fucking exciting.
Just so you all understand what you're going to see, just straight away while I do the fiddling in the background, it is literally the opening to Bloodsport, a cinematic masterpiece. But feel free to talk about it as it comes up.
A cinematic failure.
Masterpiece.
To those of you who didn't join us on Friday, I watched this film.
Yeah.
Did you go back and watch it again, Peter? Because you said you were going to.
I'm not only certain scenes, but no, I didn't. And when I say I watched this film, I mean it definitely played through while I was in the room.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, let's see how this all just ends out. All right. But feel free to chat away until you start hearing more interesting stuff.
Cool.
Okay.
I honestly don't want to see another.
I know, because in this one you got to see his ass. There was a lot of Jean-Claude ass.
I mean, there was a moment. It was a moment.
That's the moment.
There was momentary ass.
But it was his whole.
Created a whole world. Well, that's weird. Reality is not a straight line. Well, that doesn't sound ominous at all. Every passing moment is a chance for a new offshoot, a new variation. Space, time, reality. What if we could rebuild it? Oh, I'm counting on it. Journey to face the unknown and ponder the question. What?
But why? But when if?
When if? Why? Why are?
But who will be and who won't be? So I know Missy just asked in the chat, who is the Watcher?
As in the voice?
The voice of the Watcher. Or are you asking who is the person who does the thing, or is the voice of it? Because, yeah, you're right. Sorry, you're right there, Jill.
You ought to know.
Yeah.
Because you ought to know.
I don't think he was in Grey's Anatomy, Missy. Pete, can you?
No.
Was he in Grey's Anatomy?
I don't know if he was in Grey's Anatomy. Our resident Grey's Anatomy
the Watcher,
expert.
are we talking about the voiceover at the beginning?
Yeah.
Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've seen it, haven't you? Well.
Yeah.
I mean, I've
seen
seen maybe 3 seasons of Grey's, so I might not be the right person to ask.
Look,
Felicity's watched it 5 times through. She'll tell us.
According to his Wikipedia quick look, no, he has not appeared in Grey's Anatomy, but he might have. But he was definitely in Westworld.
You would know him best from Westworld.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or The Hunger Games. He was in The Hunger Games.
Right. I don't remember him in The Hunger Games at all.
He was in the Catching Fire one, but he played Beatty. Nope. Not a big fan of young adult fiction turned into franchises
Seen
that
'em,
go
but-
on for too long and extend it
Color
out.
hair did he have? They all had weird color
Dark hair. Yeah, but
No
anyway,
idea.
look, you know, a good point there, Dingo Gary. Yes, he was also Felix Leiter, the CIA agent in the last Bond films.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but go watch Westworld. Westworld's fucking great, and Jeffrey Wright's in that a lot, and he's quite cool.
Yeah.
But
and I think he does a very good job of being a very, soulful
Omnipotent.
watcher.
a multiversal watcher. I hate the fucking Watchers. There, I said it. The Watchers as an
Wow,
entire
okay.
species are fucking dickheads, and Uatu is the worst. Do you know why? Because the Watchers are just Watchers. That's all they do. They just fucking creepy watch everyone across the universe just for posterity.
I can see.
Yeah, they watch everyone all the time. But also, Uatu's the worst fucking watcher because he doesn't just watch. He always
sometimes he gets
meddles.
involved if he can be fucked.
Fuck's
It's a little
sake.
bit voyeuristic.
Well, okay, but Dion, they're the worst because they watch, but he's the worstest because he doesn't just watch. Like,
Yeah, because he stands there and goes, I can't, I'm a watcher, but I'm going to anyway. And that makes him worse. I mean, literally,
I'm just
he's-
going to put a link in the chat, which is very important. So the band that does our opening song and everything,
Yes.
is Kirby Crackle.
Kirby Crackle.
And one
Okay.
of my favorite songs of theirs is "Can I Watch You," which is Uatu's song,
No.
which is all about "Can I watch you?" And you can watch me too.
I don't know what your problem is, Dion. Everyone knows that watchers watch.
Yeah, I know that Watchers watch, but but Uatu doesn't fucking watch. Uatu gets his fucking finger in there, and if he is the person,
he gets it right up there.
Oh, he does. He does.
Way up there, Morty.
He's literally the guy that keeps going. Oh no, the Fantastic Four are going to die. Not today though. Like, I mean, yeah, the Watchers as a whole sort of MacGuffin species I don't like. That's it. That's my bit. That's all of it.
Stan Lee was hanging out with them in that one scene in Ragnarok or whatever it was.
Yes, like these 20-foot tall, weird, baby-headed dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
yeah.
weird.
What's that movie? The not Coneheads. Megamind. They got the Megamind heads.
And the capes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that they're one of the goofiest parts of the Marvel universe, and one of the bits where you
Really?
just go, that's never going to fucking translate to the screen.
No.
It's a baby-headed dude wearing a cape and a toga, and yet they put it on screen as he is, and you're like, that's a baby-headed dude with a cape and a toga. I mean, cool.
It's basically the same as like the council in Green Lanterns.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we're now in like a watcher hole when what we meant to do is get into a
Talk about
Spider-Man No Way Home
Spider-Man.
trailer hole.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was actually Uatu who did all the fucking up with the Spider-Man thing. Because, I mean, what is it? First, they released the trailer as a terrible, unfinished picture, like video recording of a phone being played on an airplane.
Mhm.
And then they punch it out within, 12 hours. I call bullshit.
Oh, it's a
somehow.
publicity stunt. Come on.
Yeah, that's why I'm like,
Yeah.
this isn't real. The name on that, the superimposed name on it, was like, what the fuck is this?
They
just
knew
wanted
we'd
to.
been fanging for it for ages, and they're like, "Oh, we're just gonna tease them with it. We're gonna pretend we're gonna leak some stuff, but really,
Yeah.
it's just gonna come out the next day, and they'll be gagging for it."
Yeah.
I have
And they will
a
overlook
question.
all of the absolutely terrible stuff that we forgot to finish in the trailer because they saw a shittier one the day before.
Oh dear.
I have a question
Wow.
about this trailer.
Yes.
About Spider-Man or about trailers in general?
About this particular trailer. I have a question about the potential plot that's being presented to us in this particular trailer, because I know I'm not seeing the entire film, and maybe it's going to make a lot more sense. But I'm having massive but why vibes for why Doctor Strange would be like, you know what? I'm not really going to think this through or talk to Peter Parker about it. I'm just going to do the thing. Oh, shit, it's all gone wrong.
I have a theory.
I love that
not to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway because fuck him.
I love that
Also,
I typed,
this is
I
the Doctor
typed
Strange
but
who
why
gets
into the
around.
chat before Peter said but why. As soon as Peter started talking, I was like, but why?
I have a theory about this, and I don't think that that is the real Doctor Strange.
Do you think it's a scroll?
I think it could be a scroll, or it could be, dare I say it, Mephisto.
Ooh.
I was gonna say, but can Skrulls do the magic stuff?
Do you know who
Like,
it
I
is?
thought that was a specific skill.
It's
no,
actually
they can't.
It's actually Dormammu. He won back in the
It's been Dormammu all along.
Yeah,
It's Agatha. She's
Dormammu,
back.
I have come to bargain.
No, it's actually Agatha. She got out of that.
Yeah. No, I looked at him and I went, wow, he looks weird. Like if you look at him,
Looks
his
very
hair is too
smooth.
dark.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It looks like a
His beard.
wig.
Yeah, the whole thing. I looked at it and
yes.
went, oh, he looks
Yeah.
bad. But interestingly, his hair is darker and the lines on the side of his head are more clear and everything. And he looks more like the image of the devil thing that Peter looks at in that trailer than he does look like Doctor Strange.
You mean
The
the
little-
little Halloween wizard light thing?
Yeah, he looks more like that. And he looks more like a traditional vampire character than he does look like fucking Doctor Strange. I thought
My
he looked a bit like
biggest-
fucking Grandpa Munster.
My biggest question is, why is the sanctum covered in frost? And why is he wearing a, dare I say it, Kathmandu puffy jacket?
Because he's
probably
about to
Midwest.
go on and do a press conference about how he's locking down New York City because of COVID rates. Well, actually,
And if you guys, please, it was pointed out to me, and now I need to point it out to everybody else. Pause the trailer at 1 minute and 28 seconds and look at the mug that Doctor Strange is holding.
is
I'm not going
it,
to tell you what it is. Just go and
is
look
it a
at
TVA mug?
No.
Oh, damn it. That would have been cool.
Go and look at
that
the
would have been
mug. I'm not going
amazing.
to tell you what it is. Look at it. It's hilarious.
I'm also, if I'm going to have a wild and crazy theory about who it is, I 100% will sit down on my theory that it's actually the Scarlet Witch who has imprisoned Doctor Strange and is impersonating him while she's studying more magic. There you go.
And
Yep.
That's just my
And-
theory.
okay, well, I mean, it's yes. So lots of theories. Fortunately, unlike WandaVision, this is all just going to play out in 2 hours, and we're not going to have a chance to spend weeks and weeks and weeks going Mephisto.
Totally Mephisto.
Your fist?
Totally Mephisto.
But maybe there'll be
I
a
mean,
few more trailers, and we can spend weeks and weeks and weeks going Mephisto.
Yeah.
What if
I ju-
we're
I
out
just-
of lockdown by the time it comes out at the cinema?
Yes. God, I hope so. Also, he smiles way too much.
What?
I'm just looking at that trailer. He smiles way too much.
What if
Uncharacteristically
we have to wait until all these movies are released and they're all released on streaming, but we have to do a giant movie marathon in the cinemas when we're allowed to go back? And by then, hopefully, the IMAX will be out and we have to watch all the Marvel movies back to back.
Oh, we just have to. It would be a shame to do it.
That'd be awful. How would we ever
Shall
cope?
we play the trailer?
Of what?
I don't. Dion doesn't have it.
That wasn't what. This was not discussed. This was not
Yeah.
discussed ahead of time. Do you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not try-
Fortunately,
I mean-
it's on the internet
Yeah.
where people
Actually,
can go and
yes,
see
I can
it.
reenact the trailer.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay, let's
Spider-Man.
reenact
I'm
the bit that made
Spider-Man.
everyone
I'm
go,
sad about
"Oh."
my girlfriend's hand.
The
Spins
bit
away.
where everybody went was when somebody went, "Hey, Peter."
Oh, yes.
Ah, ah, that-
Show
I'm
us Tobey
very-
Maguire, you cowards.
Yeah.
Well, the other one that I've seen a whole bunch of people going is, "Show us fucking Matt Murdock, you cowards."
Yeah.
Oh yes, I think there was
because
a
you
set
never see who
photo.
his lawyer is.
Well, wasn't there a set photo leak of Charlie Cox?
I
On
don't
set?
know. I believe
Might have
so, but
seen
like
it skimming around the internet somewhere.
Okay, one question then. If you're gonna have the Defenders,
Didn't they retcon Defenders?
yeah, they did because it was Netflix and now it's not. But I mean, if you're gonna have the Defenders, do you want them all back and folded properly into the Marvel universe? Do you want to see Luke Cage and the rest of them, or do you
That
just
seems
want
like a lot of work.
or do you just want like Daredevil? Because honestly,
I do want Daredevil.
Charlie
I don't
Cox
care
is
about
a
the
great.
I think we
fucking
all just
Daredevil.
want Daredevil back.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be happy to have some Jessica Jones return. I quite like to have Power Man.
Yeah, and much like
We just don't really like Finn. Sorry.
well, it was very tough. He
Shang-Chi's gonna
didn't.
do it right.
He just didn't have time to learn all the fight choreography.
Oh, I did read that article.
Which is, I'll have a fair and balanced thing there. I go, yeah, it might have been absolutely punishing schedule, but like, dude, not learning the fights. That's for
I
a
do
martial
remember
arts
having
TV
a
show.
conversation with him about that. Yeah, like there, and I have a vague memory of him saying that he was told he was basically doing so long hours of shooting other stuff, he didn't have time to do the rehearsal for the fight choreography. So
this is-
two different takes on the same problem.
That's just poor management from the people running the show.
Yeah,
Honestly.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You would have to look at it and go, surely, you would get the guy doing the martial arts show to do his martial arts training.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, but
It's
if
not
But
like you
also,
just
I mean,
rock up
we've
and
got
knock it out.
Shang-Chi before. What's that, sorry, Jill?
It's not like you can just rock up and knock it out.
No. Also, we do have Shang-Chi between now and Eternals and everything as well. So
I'm so excited.
I love the fact that we're all like, I'm very excited about seeing Spider-Man. I'm like, yay, another one. And hopefully it captures the same energy. I just feel like it might be flagging, which is when, the reveal came that they're bringing some other people back is interesting because I think it might push the series up a little bit. But I'm absolutely terrifyingly bored by the Eternals and a little bit by Shang-Chi, unfortunately. But it does explain why Wong turns up in Shang-Chi because he leaves the other side. It's like, don't do anything while I'm away fighting the Abomination in an underground cage fight somewhere.
Yeah.
And then
yeah,
And Trevor Slattery is back.
I wasn't even going to talk about that because that hasn't been officially revealed.
Well,
No.
he was at the premiere, and my friend that worked on the movie was telling me today everybody had to call him Sir Ben on set. So
Oh, right.
I do know how to act.
I mean, he was
Sir
on the
Ben,
red
Sir
carpet,
Ben,
so
Sir
yeah.
Ben, Sir
yeah,
Ben.
he was at the premiere.
Sir Ben, Sir Ben, Sir Ben, Sir Ben.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, I mean, I think
I think that's
unfortunately-
great because that
unfortunately,
at least ties up your whole Mandarin issue.
I think Spider-Man's running out of steam unless they do something pretty quickly. I think Tom Holland's boyish charms are starting to wear off a little bit.
I'm glad that Beck's
I
not
mean,
here because
speak
she would
yourself.
beat
To
you.
you?
I'm only saying that.
I was
'cause
going to say, I personally would like him to keep going for a very long time, and I really like this take on Spider-Man.
I know.
Yeah,
she's-
I feel like you're lucky that Beck doesn't live within a 5-kilometer radius of you right now.
I can
I
only
mean, I can feel her seething from my distance.
I can only say this because she's 5 kilometers away from me, and the police will stop her. As is should happen.
I disagree. I'm still excited for this film. I'm just, the teaser for me was more kind of confusing than anything. And it's also referencing a lot of stuff that, again, the Marvel stuff that I'm like, I don't know. That doesn't necessarily excite me. And the Shang-Chi teaser is the same. Like, I'm excited. It looks like a cool movie. But you guys are like, oh, is that this character? And is that character? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm excited. It looks like a cool movie. There's fighting. It looks fun.
Yeah, you watch.
But did you? I mean, when you see Alfred Molina back as Dr. Octopus, do you kind of go?
Hey.
Does that make you excited?
Not really, because I enjoy the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, but they're not a huge part of my
Even 3?
nostalgia button. It does confuse me though, because I'm like, is this just like a fun casting decision? Like, is this another boner joke, or are we trying to say something with this? I don't know.
Well, I'm pretty sure this is multiverse, broken reality, so you can now bring in shit from other universes.
But we thought that, and then we got a boner joke. So
good point.
Good point.
Also, I mean, if you're going to do that, why haven't they bringing back the really cool villains like Thomas Hayden Church? And where's Topher?
Really?
And where's Topher Grace?
No, it's
Topher Grace doesn't exist anymore. It's now Tom Hardy.
Yeah, it's Tom Hardy now.
Yeah, but why can't they have both? I mean, these are the
Again,
things.
all of them.
And it comes down to a fight I didn't actually have, but a start of a fight that happened on the internet today between me and someone else about which Green Goblin is it? Which one?
It sounds like
is it going to be Franco or is it going to be?
Well, Franco was the Hobgoblin.
No, he was the Green Goblin.
Well,
technically he wasn't Green Goblin. He was not he was not even called Green Goblin 2. He was just the Goblin.
The Goblin. Okay, fair enough. But there are 3 Green Goblins, and I just want them to pull the rug out from under us and have the worst one, which was the.
Do you reckon it's going to be Dane DeHaan?
Yeah, the snowboarding Goblin.
Oh, hang on, no. Okay, so you're not even talking about the shitty Green Goblin from the Andrew Garfield film.
Yeah, that one.
Wait, there was a Green Goblin in Amazing Spider-Man?
Yes.
Dane DeHaan.
Yeah, see, watch everyone's brain go, what?
That.
Why?
I don't remember that.
Yes.
Fucking brought back Electro, like Jamie Foxx Electro is going to be in it, and that was a bad character.
Oh yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah, of all of the ones to go back to, I was like, no, get fucking Paul Giamatti in there as the Rhino.
Rhino.
Yeah, I mean those ones are good.
100% wacky.
I'm slightly disappointed they're not bringing back the Into the Spider-Verse Dr. Octopus because she was great.
Yeah,
she was amazing.
You know,
no, that's a terrific film that deserves another rewatch.
Yeah, and there's a sequel for that one.
Yes, next year. Oh,
I want middle-aged, depressed Spidey because that's how we all feel. Like I used to be able to go outside, and now I'm locked at home, and I put on a bit of weight, and my wife left me.
Tracky Dak Spider-Man.
Yeah, I am Tracky Dak Spider-Man right now. Actually, something that I loved, I rewatched Homecoming the other night because I'm doing a big rewatch of all things MCU. Fuck, that's a great film.
Yeah, I was thinking today after watching the trailer, I really want to rewatch it now.
Yeah, like all of the stuff with the Vulture is just so fucking good. And he is. And I love the way that he plays it, the tension. I love the way that the characters play and the fact that it sits within the MCU, but it still feels separate enough.
Yeah, just skirts the edge.
Oh, it's so good. Such a good film. So I'm more than happy for more of that Spider-Man and more of that ongoing stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah. I love that we all very excited. Do you think we're going to see other Spider folks?
What? What do you mean by other Spider folks? Like,
yeah, isn't Tobey Maguire
Spider-Gwen?
and Andrew Garfield supposed to be in this movie as well? Like, is that confirmed or what?
We don't know.
And that sounds a bit pie in the sky. I don't know. I haven't heard that. It would be fun, but I also kind of feel like you kind of were moving in on territory that Into the Spider-Verse has already done.
Sure. Look, I mean, hey, if we're going to throw out just random ideas we want to see, because this film seems like it's the start of the multiverse of madness. Because remember, I think this one seems like a leader into the multiverse of madness. Like, I feel like at the end of Spider-Man, we're not going to get any resolution, and it's just going to tear open the fabric of reality, and that's when all of the spider villains pour out. You know, like we get the Dr. Octopus, and then the film just fucking ends. Because why wouldn't Marvel treat it like they don't have to resolve anything? They can just treat these movies like series now, and it's the end of season 1, you know, and they can just make sure that we all have to come back to get the resolution. They get 2 films out of it. Maybe I'm cynical.
Yeah, I think it could be that.
yeah.
But also, it was like Peter was saying before, and I know Beck says this a lot too, is like when we start to see these things and all the little bits and pieces that make us go, oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, starts to kind of alienate the casual viewer and makes people like Peter say, I don't understand all the excitement about it because I'm not in that world. Like, am I still going to enjoy this movie? Is it for you, Pete, starting to feel like a little bit gatekeepy when the details get this intense and like?
Not really. I think WandaVision probably would have been the most gatekeepy. That's hard for me to recommend a watch of WandaVision to a casual fan, whereas most of these other things I can kind of say, watch Loki, fun series. You're going to understand it regardless of whether or not you understand, the deep comic stuff.
Yeah.
I have made my parents start a chronological rewatch of the entire Marvel universe so that they can watch Loki without me explaining it to them. And they're having fun with that.
Chronologically?
I still think that I'm still excited to watch the films. They still look like fun to me. And I feel like if you're not into comic book superhero films by now, you're just not going to be. Like, they've amassed enough of a casual audience, I think, to be able to start taking some of these risks and doing a little bit more fan service, because the casual audience, very much like me, has now got enough background just from the MCU and the TV series
it's
to still kind of feel like, I understand that reference.
It's on the cusp.
I feel like I'm a real nerd.
It's on the cusp of generational now for these Marvel films. Are now people who were young enough to watch them when they came out in cinema have kids now that they can introduce them to. So it's just
we were having that chat today in our sort of private chat about Iron Man, like that feeling of like one of the ticker jokes that I was trying to put in of what if Iron Man was the movie that we were all afraid it was? And Jill was like, what do you mean? I was like, well, I remember, when they were saying, okay, Marvel is doing their own movies and they're their own studio. And I was like, what?
Yeah, this is
they're starting with Iron Man. I was like, what? Iron Man? Like, he's a fucking second tier character at best. And the Avengers felt kind of goofy. So what?
Yeah.
And then the
Iron
movie
Man
came
was
out and it was amazing.
Iron Man was a golden age hero. Like, the Avengers was like the huge big team comic.
But they weren't the popular ones. Like, I mean, they were golden age. And I'll say, hands down, the Avengers and those core characters that came out were the golden age. But they were not popular in the comics, like in their fan base. In the fan base at that time that they came out, it was, it was the end of Dark and Gritty, but the number one selling was an X book. X-Men, X anything.
There were 20 X books,
the big ticket
15
items.
Spider-Man books, a bunch of Venom, and a bunch of fucking, that was what was currently selling.
It's actually really interesting to see that they went that way. They were like, no, we're going back to our heritage characters and we'll introduce them. And everyone was like, that's a risk. Ghost Rider sucked.
Well, and that's the thing. That was the film that came out just before it.
Ghost Rider 2,
2007. Sorry?
Ghost Rider 2, Spirit of Vengeance.
No, that was 2011. 2007 was the first.
Fuck, right.
Yeah. And so literally the year before we'd seen Iron Man, we'd just seen Ghost Rider made a fucking mess of.
Yeah.
We'd had a few X-Men films, we'd had a couple of Spider-Man films, but we really hadn't seen Marvel take on their own stuff. So Iron Man was a big question mark. And then the idea of then doing Captain America and Thor, and
especially because they'd announced Thor before Iron Man came out, and everyone was like,
and also Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, that was also terrible.
I mean, meanwhile, I'm just there being like, oh, cool, looks like Robert Downey Jr. is doing a movie that's like Batman with robots. Fun, I'll watch it.
I think that Kevin Feige is from the future, and he knew how everything was supposed to go, and so he traveled back in time
to put the timeline back together again.
Thing up. Yeah, like,
he's from the
TVA.
TVA.
Yeah, exactly.
Kevin Feige's from the TVA.
See, that's an episode from season 2 of What If. What if Kevin Feige was wrong?
Oh yeah.
Ah.
Oh no.
I also love that he came back. He says, "No, like all of these actors need to be movie stars again. Just grab them off from here and just be like, nope, you're coming back." And I'm like, do the same with Brendan Fraser.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah. Oh well, there we go. We've talked enough about Marvel, I believe. Oh,
Sorry,
thank God.
I like Preda Kanga's thing. Feige, you gotta come back with me, Feige. It's your kids, Feige.
They're poorly drawn and have too many variant covers. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm sorry. There we go. Well,
it's a lot of talk time we got out of a 3-minute teaser.
Amazing. It's gone on for longer than I thought it would. But
well, I mean, we could go on and talk about Eternals, but I don't think anyone gives a fuck.
No thanks.
Let's leave that for another time.
Yeah.
I'm tried. Like I watched one of those Easter egg videos where they're pulling it apart and telling me everything, all of the details and who the Eternals are and everything. And I was just like, I still don't think I care.
Yeah. Be interesting
I don't know.
to
Richard
see
Madden's
if
going
we
to
do
get me there,
care.
to be honest. But
Be interesting to
just me.
see if we do care after the movies come out.
Look, I think the
Wait and
last
see.
trailer was fine, but I still didn't care. Yeah.
I'm not interested. Like, I have the same level of excitement for the Eternals that I had for what was that TV show? The
Oh, in Insufferables? No. Inhumans.
Inhumans.
Ah.
Yeah. I even forgot about that. It's like, oh, they're doing another base of creature people that, they live amongst
That
us.
show
I
could have
don't
been
care.
so much better. It was such a train wreck.
And I just hope
Anson Mount.
Oh, but Anson Mount.
Yeah, I hope that they.
no, we're not going to talk about the Eternals and immediately just start talking about the Eternals.
No, the Inhumans.
Inhumans. The Inhuman. Like, I mean, why would you take Anson Mount, a guy who's got a great voice, and just cast him as someone who can't speak?
Yep.
But why?
Like,
We've had a request for a drunk watch of Inhumans.
You're inhumane, is what you are. I'll have to go back. The Inconceivables. Yeah, I'd see that anyway. What are we doing this? What are you doing on Friday? Quinny, what are you doing on Friday?
We're getting animated again.
Yes, time for animates.
Yep, and this week we are talking about magic. Oh. Sorry, that's the only magic I know.
You've lost Peter and I. Yeah.
Do the
Yeah. Oh, hang on. I can make this drink disappear.
Oh my God, he's drinking from space time. Are you back? So you're back on Friday, same bat time, same bat channel. What I need to know desperately, and this is something I didn't know about Animates, have you got more PowerPoint presentations? I'm down for this. Like, if you've never watched an Animates, please come and watch an Animates just for the PowerPoint presentations alone.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're great.
I'm still in the process.
TED Talks. Three TED Talks on a Friday night.
Yeah, about our favorite cartoons that we really love. I'm still in the process of choosing mine.
What?
Yeah,
Quinny?
I know. I'm torn. I've got two really strong ideas for what I want to do, and both of them are magic, and one of them's really obvious, and the other one has.
Magic the Gathering.
They made an animated series of that?
I don't know, wasn't there?
One of them has to be Dungeons and Dragons, right?
I did think about Dungeons and Dragons, but I haven't seen enough of it. Yeah.
Meanwhile, I've been working on my PowerPoint since last month because I'm
I know,
super
right?
excited.
and I'm pretty sure that Will, who is our other host for Animates, may actually have done some kind of film or animation or something. So it's like, fucking righto, okay, shit. Yeah.
So okay.
So yeah, come along 7:30. Make sure to let us know. I will put up a post for some of the ideas that we need to create our new hybrid animated series that we've been doing.
Our mystery box ingredients.
Yes, for the Iron Chef that is Animates.
Yep.
And then what are we doing next week? Do we know?
Yes. We're doing Bob Ross, but we're taking a look at the documentary on Bob Ross, which hopefully is a nice thing, but not sure considering it's called Bob Ross, Happy Accidents, Betrayal and Greed. So
I hope that you're not going to ruin something perfect.
I didn't choose this one, so it's not up to me to ruin anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I believe that one's out on Netflix now.
Yes, Nerdflix. You can see it on Nerdflix, so you can do the reading. And then we have to write a schedule for next month.
September.
So tell us if you want us to review something next month. Either send us an email or drop a line in the chat, or tell us on the Facebook page. Any of those things.
Yeah.
Tell us what you want us to talk about next month. There's so many things.
Yeah, if there is something that you think is that, we really should do or we've missed the ticket on,
and
let us know.
Thanks, Just Angela. Yes, reminded me of the Witcher thing.
Oh yeah,
which I caught somewhat out of the side of my eye over the last recent days, and it's fine.
Yeah, it's just a movie. It's not a full series, so it shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah. We'll see. Tell us about things. Meanwhile, keep enjoying Ted Lasso season 2.
Yes, and keep checking out the Moth Effect as well, which is on every Friday. And I've enjoyed this week's episode, which has a beautiful Blade Runner piss take.
Yes, wonderful piss take.
Yes.
All right, thanks everyone in the chat. You've been wonderful and very, organized today,
Very chatty.
talking amongst yourselves. It's been great.
Yeah, you guys are kicking ass, and the more subscribers and stuff we get, with the more emotes that we unlock.
Yeah.
So, then you too can do, ridiculous emotes.
It's only a few away until we get to another emote. Like, this is the thing. We don't really need subscribers for a long, long time. It's just to open up the emotes, guys. Just open up. We just need to unlock so many emotes that we have there, which we're like, well, let's add another one. It's like, we can't. We need to get more of this. It's like, okay, fine, we'll do that then.
We're definitely working on one that is Peter's, but why?
Yeah, there'll be a but why.
It may just be a but with a question mark.
Yes.
Well, if it wasn't before, it is now.
It is now.
It is now. All right. Okay. I've been Dion.
I have been Quinny.
Hey. Are you gonna? Oh, we're gonna raid
Peta.
anyone? Quinny, are we raiding someone? Should we go raid Jordan?
Yeah. What do people feel like? We could raid Bajo, or we could raid Mylan, who's playing Sea of Thieves, or we could raid Jordan. What do we feel like?
Whatever. Dealer's choice.
You know what? I always enjoy Jordan. I think that she does great stuff, and it is always spectacularly weird. So let's do that, shall we?
Alrighty.
Cool.
I put on the outro. See you later, team. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
I wanna live in a world full of heroes, not sit here counting zeros in a cubicle downtown. I wanna look out my window, see 'em flying, and swing across the horizon as I cheer 'em on so proud.